Right, Dave. Finger.
Come on, now, Willie. Come on, let's go. Come on. All right, from the very start.
Do the referees know where they're going? I don't know if Alan's told the referees. You told the referees when he's done the presentation. What are you saying, Mike? Come on,
Ding ding.
There's no delay now. Wait for the camera angle to reset. When you come out, they'll be straight on the other day. Then you can say, so we've got a couple of minutes. Is it 4 o'clock already? Yeah, okay. Okay. Ready? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the World 8-Ball Pool Championships. And now it is time for the first round of the men's team semi-final best out of 21 frames, featuring Team England and Team Ireland. I'd like to call now the referees for this match, referee John Chapman and referee Tony Coe. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Referees, please conduct the lag. Come on! Straight from this side, let's go! Big noise in here, lads, come on!
Very good afternoon and welcome to the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool for continued coverage of the 2018 World 8-Ball Pool Championships. Next up this afternoon, the men's team semi-final, England against Ireland. Two of the strongest teams in the competition. England multiple winners over many years. Always come to this tournament as favourites. Ireland, one of the few teams to have beaten them in the past. Turned up this year with a strong team, fought their way through the playoffs to reach this semi-final. Commentary from this one coming from Mark Shepherd, and joining me in the commentary box, Joe Fante. Should be a good match this. England obviously imperiously good, but Ireland putting up a strong showing this year.
And both of them finishing well and truly near the top of the table. So the two referees for this match are John Chapman, Tony Coe. And good afternoon viewers from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool in England. And yeah, it is sunny Blackpool these days. We've had some brilliant weather this week. I'm sure most of England must be getting this weather.
Yes, when I was in London before I came up here, it was even hotter than it is here. It's absolutely amazing outside. I was just taking a walk along the seafront in between matches. It's just like being on holiday in the Mediterranean somewhere.
So we've got, do we have Rob Vaughan and Patrick O'Leary on the table on the left?
Table on the right.
Table on the right. And Mike King and Sean Sharkey, table on the left.
Yeah, so we'll be providing split screen coverage throughout this match, so we'll be talking about both matches if we manage to keep track of what's going on. Match on the left started at a fair pace. They lagged first on the right, but the guys on the left got underway very quickly. Rob Vaughan for England, Mike King for England at the table at the moment. It's on the yellow balls.
So this is England at the table, on the left table, which must be Mike King.
So England qualified as of right for the semi-final by finishing top of the table. Ireland had to do it the hard way. They beat India in a playoff only about 2.5 hours ago. Well, the match started 2.5 hours ago, so they haven't had much of a break between this. 11-9 in the end against India, so the Irish, I don't know if they had the luck of the Irish, as they did when we were watching them the other night, but they did well to get through that. It was evidently a close match. That's the two England players at the table at the moment. Mike King working his way through these yellows. He's halfway to having the frame one. Rob Vaughan on the right hand side on reds.
He's got this straight yellow to the top left hand corner and a yellow to the top right. And of course you can see that the black is in the middle of the table.
This is very much his forte, Mike King, these kind of clearances.
You should be able to just gently screw back for the black and find a position to put this black somewhere, because he's got quite a few options.
Relaxed in the middle pocket. Nervous moment as he bumps into that red, but cans it full enough that he's still on the black. The first frame goes the way of England. Mike King defeating Sean Sharkey.
So it'll be Dave Fernandez and Carl O'Donoghue in next, and I'm sure they'll go to the left table.
He's proceeding at a slightly more pedestrian pace over on the right hand side of the arena. Patrick O'Leary for Ireland on the yellow balls. Slightly tricky position that Patrick O'Leary's left himself in here. Didn't quite pick that one out, looking to play that yellow long to the top right hand corner. So Rob Warne back to the table, and the red ball's looking fairly promising, you'd have to say. Rob Warne's normally pretty clinical from this kind of position. Cue ball's going to have to be moved around a bit. He's got a ball spread all over the table. It's going to have to go up to the baulk cushion at some point to take that one along there and then back to the top cushion. But you can't imagine that posing a problem.
It was Tony Coe, the referee, meticulously cleaning the white ball there for the incoming England player.
So Dave Fernandez to break on the left table.
It's a pretty good break.
Well, it's a good break, but it didn't
no,
put anything.
Nothing down.
Which is, in a sense, the worst kind of break.
It's
A
a
good break where you don't put anything.
England, but good break for the spectators. Yeah, I laugh when I'm playing in the local competition. Yeah, great break. Yeah, I didn't put a ball though.
Yes.
So that's Carl O'Donoghue on this left table.
Yeah, one of the strongest players in the Irish team. He's been around for a long time, Carl.
And he's got a good opportunity here to make something of this dry break. So he prefers yellows, and he may choose to take this yellow to the bottom left-hand pocket, because the only awkward ball is probably that yellow which goes to the middle. And once he pots this yellow into the bottom left, he's probably got an ideal opportunity to take that yellow to the middle.
Meanwhile, Rob Warne making his way around the reds. Just the one left on the right hand table.
So this is Carl O'Donoghue lining up on this yellow. Makes no mistake there. So I expect he'll take that yellow into the middle right pocket. And then run the yellow to the bottom right. It's going well so far. No mishaps.
Which is unfortunately more than can be said of Rob Warne's last positional shot. On the other side of the arena, he's left this black a little bit more tricky than he was hoping for.
He's lining up what he's going to do with that yellow in the right cushion. But for the time being, he's got to negotiate this yellow in the bottom right hand corner. He's actually decided against that. He's going to go the other way first, taking yellow to the top left. Probably considers it a better idea to run this yellow to the bottom corner.
He's got to mind what he's doing with this next yellow. This is going to be a tricky shot however he plays it.
I guess it's probably one of those in or overs. It's pretty important that if he doesn't pot, he's got to take command of the pocket, otherwise reds are all going to disappear, I'd imagine.
Yeah, may look to play it off the side cushion and off the red. I think that might be his better chance of potting it. No, he has gone for it clean.
Played it pretty well, it's clean. And now he can possibly do that with this last yellow, just to make sure he pots.
Yeah, I think this one he may have to pot clean, because the red isn't such a big pocket from this angle.
But he's gone pretty well so far, Carl O'Donoghue. It's a lovely pot, and he's on black. So dry break, and incoming player Carl O'Donoghue for Ireland capitalises. The score is 1 apiece between England and Ireland. And you can hear the cheer from the Irish.
Yeah, it's always very vocal support. I think we can be assured of that.
So that's still the first frame going on table 1.
Yes, Rob Warne cleared up to the black, but left himself a tricky black which he tried to double and just pushed it onto the jaw. And unfortunately that narrow misses, from his point of view, has let Patrick O'Leary in for this opportunity.
And the incoming players in the table on the left are Carl Sutton from England and Gerard O'Gorman from Ireland.
Looking fairly good so far for Patrick O'Leary. This is the kind of opportunity you want to be left. He had all his balls in fairly open positions and his opponent only had the black left, so no traffic around the table. Played a good shot a moment ago to disturb the blackout, so now everything's in pretty much prime position. Looks to be, yeah, this looks a little bit challenging. He's trying to really dig down on this to screw this yellow in. Hit it well though. So probably choose to play this yellow. It's just below the black spot off 2 cushions. Could alternatively take this one near the baulk line first, just depends which he thinks affords simpler position.
So it's Jordan O'Gorman here for Ireland to break. Looks like another dry break, I think. Yeah. Yellow's maybe missing one. Yeah, yellow's potted.
No, dry break, so
dry break there as well.
Carl Sutton at the table. Meanwhile, Patrick O'Leary down to the black. Looks like it's going to be the second frame for the Irish. Rob Warren did most of the hard work in this frame, but it's Ireland that notch it up. They now lead by 2 frames to 1. If he supports this vocal after 3 frames, I think we can be assured by the end of the match that it's going to be a very lively arena.
And on table 1, the incoming players will be Shane Thompson of England and Alan McBennett of Ireland.
Both experienced campaigners we've seen at this stage of the competition a few times before. Still no balls potted over the left hand side. Neither player keen to leave the other one an opportunity.
Safety shot played by Ireland here on the left table. That yellow probably does sneak into the middle pocket if he's game enough to go for it. To the left middle. Be very difficult. But still open table, so the reds are easier for the middle on the right side. He's played that very well. That's Carl Sutton. And one awkward ball there on the right rail. But all the other reds are certainly in a pottable position.
Meanwhile, Shane Thompson breaking off on the right hand side. Big, powerful break. 1 red and 1 yellow deposited. The ball's flying all over the table.
Carl Sutton, nice ball into the middle left. He's going to try and work out how to negotiate that red off the cushion. Looks like he's going to go for it now in the form of a double. No, just lining it up.
Yeah, I think he's just thinking about where he needs to be. The other red's in the way at the moment, but you're right, he's going to have to double it at some point.
Is that the position he wanted to double it?
It's almost okay. I think it's quite close to double kissing it. I think he may just be able to make this angle.
That's correct, yeah, it's disappeared. It's a nice pot by Carl Sutton. That was his problem ball.
So a pretty natural positional shot this, and just needs to pot the 1 in baulk. The cue ball will be naturally coming down the middle of the table for the choice of the 2 at the bottom.
Carl Sutton plays that nicely. He's going to slide a little bit too far.
Yes,
a fraction far.
Not that nicely.
It wasn't stopping. It wasn't stopping. The line was good, but the pace was just off.
Yeah, he's got a bit greedy with the position there. He could have afforded to leave it a lot shorter than that.
I wonder if he might just try a slight swerve. pot this ball.
Yeah, you can see him applying right hand
Looks like
side.
it's going anyway.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah, very good shot.
Had to bend that slightly to
Still
make
on.
that angle.
Carl Sutton playing very well here to clear those balls. And of course, no trouble with the black. And Carl Sutton levels the score for the time being. It's 2-all. England 2, Ireland 2. So Carl Sutton defeated Geroid O'Gorman.
Yeah.
Ireland, incoming player Lee Kendall and David McQuillan. That'd be on the left table.
Slightly more tactical game on the right hand side. Shane Thompson's got himself into a good position though. He's on reds for England, and you can see he's got a couple of pockets covered. Most tellingly this top left one. So Alan McBennett just considering how he might go about getting these yellows out of this situation. Although I don't know whether he necessarily wants to get them out just yet, because all the reds go, so got to be a bit careful he doesn't open things up too much. So just slightly rearranging the furniture, as it were. Shane Thompson's just got to be a bit careful here. He needs to do something with this red, otherwise it's going to leave the opportunity for Alan to play a deliberate foul. That's why he decided to open that up. Now you can see all the reds go very easily, so now suddenly, having looked like quite a tight tactical frame, Shane Thompson with a great opportunity to clear up for England. John Chapman there in the background, you can see officiating. The referee holding a stopwatch just to ensure that no player exceeds the 60-second time limit for a shot.
And that was Tony Coe, who just racked up the balls on the left table.
So Dave McQuillan to get things underway in frame number 6.
So yellow ball down. And fairly restricted on what he can go for on the yellows. There's a few red balls potable. He may take that option.
Yeah, the split's okay, but the position of the cue ball isn't. I don't think he's going to be very keen to go for reds, because that one's tied up on the baulk cushion. There's also one tied up on the right hand side cushion.
I still think he'll go for reds. Because a yellow safety is not looking that good. He's played that nicely into the middle pocket. David McQuillan. He's playing Lee Kendall. So Ireland's on the reds on the left table. He's got quite a few reds he can negotiate, but of course the problem ball is the red on this right cushion, which at some stage is going to have to make a move on to try and move.
Over on the other side, Shane Thompson going about his business with a minimum of fuss, down to his last red, just needs to roll this into the bottom right hand corner.
David McQuillan takes this to the top right hand pocket. He'll probably take that red over the middle pocket, and he'll be on those two balls, two reds close to the black, which come into this bottom left hand pocket.
Black safely down for Shane Thompson, good clearance. Suddenly appeared out of nowhere. He'd worked a good tactical situation, then the frame slightly opened up. There was a cluster of balls around the top left hand corner pocket. Once those were worked through, easy enough clearance for Shane. So England ahead once again, currently leading by 3 frames to 2.
So this is still Dave McQuillan at the table. Ireland. He's got a pot there. So he's come into the pack and he's got that red, but I think it's being blocked by the red to the right. He's being blocked to the pocket by the yellow in the bottom right hand pocket, but he's also got this other red that will go to the to the left.
If he's slightly regretting getting into this clearance, I can understand how he got started on it, because he had to take a red because he couldn't see a yellow, but he feels slightly like he's potting himself into trouble here at the moment.
May try and just cover this pocket on the right if he goes for that close red.
Yeah, he could play the red off the bottom cushion and then off the yellow to try and cover that pocket.
So Lee Kendall hasn't visited the table yet, and that's a bad shot to go in off there. It's given Lee Kendall 2 shots now.
Yeah, he hasn't really picked a very good opponent for this kind of thing either. Lee Kendall's so ruthless from this kind of position.
I guess you got Giuseppe D'Imperio and Paul Kelly on the right table.
Yeah, Giuseppe breaking off there but coming up dry, so it's Paul Kelly has the first look at the table. Couldn't really imagine Lee Kendall not clearing up from here. Over on the left, he's very deadly from this kind of position. 2 shots, all the yellows pretty much open or at least accessible. Oh, Paul Kelly's gone in off though. So England are going to be at both tables. Giuseppe Imperio stepping up with ball in hand.
And Lee Kendall with 2 shots. It's looking good on the left table. We're going to take this yellow closest to the middle into the middle pocket. Or is he going to the end?
No, he'll roll this in the
To
middle.
the middle, yeah.
Choices here. I don't know if that yellow below the black pot, so he could opt to screw into it, or he could just decide to save his visit. He's still got a visit in hand, so just use that to bump it out later on. Just about whether he feels he's got a good angle to clip into the black, maybe.
It's a nice shot. And he's managed to move that yellow away from the black in Lee Kendall. You said he was very good in these situations.
Normally when I say that the player misses, but I still have confidence in the man.
It's a nice double. He's made no mistake with that. And by that double coming off, it's making the clearance look elementary, but believe me, it wasn't an elementary clearance. As I say, Lee Kendall's an expert at these situations. Just have a look at how he's gently come across for that black and left himself a straight black into the middle. Lee Kendall takes a frame against Dave McQuillan of Ireland, and England go to a 4-2 lead in this semi-final in the team event. Coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, the 2018 World Championships.
A 4-2 lead that's about to become a 5-2 lead. Giuseppe D'Imperio did need the second visit. He's just jawed his last red, but fortunately had the extra visit in hand, so no problem at all. Black down, England going to a 5-2 lead.
So that's the end of the first set. England 5-2 after it got off to a even start, but England have taken the last 3 frames of that first set.
This match being played best of 21 frames, 3 sets of 7, so each player can play a maximum of 3 times, although each team have got a maximum squad of 10, so may make some substitutions in the second or third innings, as it were.
So I gather Rob Warne and Carl O'Donoghue will go to table 1.
Yeah, they're playing on the left. I think actually we're calling the one on the left table too, but that may be a confusing way for the viewers to think about it. We'll stick with left and right, I think, for the time being.
Well, left and right is how the screen is, so we're calling it's left screen, left table.
Indeed.
So that's Rob Warne and Carl O'Donoghue, and on the right table will be Mike King and Geroid Gorman.
And Gerard O'Gorman not having a great deal of luck so far. So a clearance against him from Carl Susson in his first visit. Mike King's now broken off, split the balls up very well. You quite fancy these reds disappearing in this visit, so he may manage to have 2 frames where all he's done is break once.
And Rob Warne's got a red potted. Good effort with that red. Laid it up over the bottom left hand pocket. So these are the 2018 World Championships men's team semi-finals, coming to you on WEPF live stream, produced by Yvonne Armitage, assisted by Stan Grant. So the final will be tomorrow.
So not completely plain sailing here for Mike King. He's had 2 attempts to move the red on the left hand side cushion. The first time he ended up pushing it safer than it was to start with. That time he hasn't really moved it at all. So now he's got himself into a little bit of difficulty. Looking like it was a good opportunity for a clearance from the break. He's now got quite a lot of work to do if he wants to keep things going.
So it's should be able to take this. Robert Warne should be able to take this red into the top right hand pocket. He's got that troublesome red on the left that he's got to work out what he's going to do, and he's got into it now. Managed to make space for himself, but it looks as if his white is very close to that red. So may not be able to do anything with the shot. He's lining it up. Likes the idea of bringing it out.
I like the idea of putting it, but unfortunately that didn't work out like that.
No. And he's cleared the way for Carl O'Donoghue on this left table. All the yellows are out in the open except for, of course, the black is down the bottom end of the table.
Yeah, I think he may be able to free things up for the black. He may be able to play a yellow off the red that's covering the bottom left hand corner at some point, but he's got a few other things to think about first. Yeah, so that's quite tight. Maybe able to play off the cushion and then off the yellow. That's what he's currently lining up. Could potentially do it with the yellow that's nearest the baulk line. I mean, that wouldn't be the most obvious next shot to play, but actually if he considers that's a big pocket, may consider playing that shot down the line. Otherwise he'll clear up at the top of the table first and then work his way down.
Yeah, I think he'll consider this a big pocket and he's going to go for it here. Carl O'Donoghue. He's done exactly that. That's a lovely pot.
So that's opened things right up. Still a little bit to do though. The ball's on the right hand side. Obviously all go, but needs to get position.
So he might take his easy ball now. Try and bring himself over to these yellows that are close together. Maybe he's done that. Of course they go in the middle.
Yeah, that was a good shot because I don't think they go in the corner, so he had to drop behind them.
He's got perfect position on them both. Can pot one and stun back for the other. Nicely done. They can do the same with this second yellow that he's close to. He can put it in the middle. Of course he doesn't need to, he can change direction and pot that yellow to the top right hand pocket. He's played that well.
Yeah, the only complicating factor with this clearance is the yellow that's just to the right of the white. I think it only goes up into the top right hand corner pocket, which is why he's had to take these in a slightly different order. So he's going to come down bottom left next, and then he's just seeing what angle he wants to leave himself on that final ball. I think he's going to want to leave himself fairly straight on that final ball, because if he leaves too much angle it'll be very hard to get back for the black.
So this is Carl O'Donoghue at the table, on the left table. He's played that nicely and left himself on that yellow to the top right hand pocket.
Just wants to try to avoid the red that's over the middle pocket as he screws back, screw down the right hand side of the table. The black goes bottom left, so fairly big area to drop in. He's able to just screw across the face of that red.
It's a nice position shot. Going to be able to give himself every chance on this black to put it in the bottom left hand corner. And he's happy about that. That's Carl O'Donoghue. Wins the third frame for Ireland as they trail England 3-5 in this semi-final match of the men's team event.
Meanwhile, over on the other side of the arena, Gerard Gorman, who was getting about these balls nicely, played a slightly careless positional shot on his penultimate yellow, leaving his last yellow a very thin cut, which he's just made. Unfortunately for him, life isn't getting any easier. He's just potted a great last ball to get to this position, but he's going to have to pull out one more. And you see where the reds are. He can't afford to miss this black. A fair bit of pressure on this shot. So he may be digging down. I think that he's concerned that the natural angle has taken the cue ball into the pocket, so as if it wasn't bad enough, he's now got to screw down, which is why that's happened.
Has lost the white, sold the farm.
Yes, I mean, arguably once he missed that, it wasn't going to make much difference anyway, but this just makes it absolutely certain for Mike King. Mike King had a good opportunity off the break. He just ran out of position with these two reds left on the table. He'll be relieved to have had a second chance here, because for a moment it looked like his opponent was about to clear up.
So this should be Dave Fernandez and Patrick O'Leary on the left table, where Tony Coe is setting up the balls, the referee.
Needed 2 opportunities, but he won't mind that. Mike King sinks the black, shakes hand with his opponent. England now ahead by 6 frames to 3.
And it'll be Carl Sutton versus Sean Sharkey coming in on that table. That's just completed.
In the meantime, Patrick O'Leary stepping up to break on the left-hand side. Deposits the white straight into the centre pocket.
And the yellow. So this is Dave Fernandez coming in, and looks like he fancies the reds. Going to take this red in the right hand pocket for now. It's got a red that'll go in the top left. We can play down to the bottom left. It's a nice clean pot, and he'll stay down this end of the table to clear these 3 reds which are left of the black, and negotiate his way into those 2 that are close together.
Yeah, it's those 2 that are close together. He may decide to take the one immediately to the left of the black, because that would allow him to cannon into those, but he's not going to be desperately keen to move them, so may wait for a better opportunity. And that is a better opportunity. He's now got a much better angle.
So he's got the angle there.
The one that's to the right of the black is okay. It's the one that's to the topmost of the screen that's the most difficult one to get on.
So he's cleared the yellow. That's certainly helped.
Yeah, now that's completely alleviated the problem. He can now chip the bottom one into the middle pocket.
So this is Dave Fernandez here for England, trying to clear these reds, playing quite well. So he looks like he likes the red to the top pocket, straight in, and now he's got a nice line to that middle pocket. Dave Fernandez, very pensive. Those are nicely just made the pocket. Just goes to show that you can't really play them in there hard.
And the time Dave's been working on that, a slightly more straightforward clearance, or a slightly quicker clearance at least, for Carl Sutton over on the right hand side.
And Dave Fernandez is about to do the same on the left hand side. And England snare another 2 frames, and they'll go to 8-3.
Strong start from England, as you might have expected. They've been absolutely imperious. They've gone through the group stages without losing a match.
So we'll have Shane Thompson versus Dave McMillan coming in on table on the left, and Lee Kendall, Paul Kelly, table on the right. And so we're getting some good clearances in this team event.
Yeah, it's been a good standard of play. I mean, the English team are all just so good that they play this almost more like it's a singles event. They don't seem to be fazed by the fact that they're only getting 1 frame at a time. They look like they're warmed up immediately that they come to the table. Won nearly 65% of the frames they've played so far in this tournament, England, which has been good enough to win it 11 out of 11 matches. Ireland have won 7 out of the 11 matches they played, so they've had a pretty strong showing as well. They finished third in the league table. As I say, had to come through that playoff against India and actually got run pretty close. 11-9, finished only half an hour before this match started, so match sharp at least, but there's a couple of big matches to play in the same day.
And of course, those following Australia's fate, they had a bad loss this morning. They lost to Mauritius, which put them out of contention for the finals, so they're very disappointed. If they'd won that, I believe they would have been a good chance to be in.
So Lee Kendall gets us underway on the left hand side.
So that was Lee Kendall on the left.
No balls plotted though, so he turns the table over to his opponent Paul Kelly for Ireland.
Yeah, it's Dave McMillan on the right versus Shane Thompson. So if I keep an eye on the left table.
Good player Dave McCullen, he's been around for a long time, been there, seen it all. Always a rock solid performer for Ireland.
So it's a nice yellow into the middle. Lee Kendall.
Paul.
He's got this yellow into the bottom left, or you can play the yellow into the bottom right, but I think we'll take the yellow in the bottom left first. Concentrate on this end. Very awkward, rather awkward bridge. No, in fact, he's going the other way. Let's go and take that yellow to the top left as we see the table on the screen. And he's missed that, one of Lee's rare misses.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact he was slightly hampered queuing over that ball, just made it a bit harder.
And Paul Kelly looking to seize on this opportunity. Ireland need to win a few frames here if they're going to stay in touch.
Yeah, first to 11 wins this, so this is not looking very promising at the moment for Ireland. It's been a pretty quick match so far. We've been going 45 minutes and 11 frames in already. So in stark contrast to some of the matches we've seen this week. There's been very little tactical play so far.
And of course, this match is a race to 11.
Yeah, first team to 11 go through to tomorrow morning's final.
And they don't need to play right out the 21 frames because it is a final.
Yeah, the matches we've seen so far in the group stages, we've been accustomed to seeing them play the whole match, but no point in the knockout stages.
Bad miss there. Lee Kendall's just run into a couple of blemishes. Unusual for him.
Yeah, this is a slightly more awkward frame than the last one. The last one he had quite a routine clearance, whereas these ones have fallen a little bit awkwardly for him.
So let's see what Paul Kelly can do. So he's on the reds. There's a bit of work to do with the reds down here. If he could, don't think he can negotiate a pot on this red closest left pocket. So the yellow might be in the way. So he's just played it out. So Lee Kendall should be coming back on the scene here now.
Yeah, not the most inviting position for him though, tucked up
No,
behind
he's
one of his own yellows.
Tight. He may try and force that yellow to the top pocket. Oh, he's just going to run off it by the looks. Get his wide out of the territory.
No attacking option available, so you have to play a safety. It's not gone quite right. He was looking to get past those balls and get the cue ball right up to the balk end of the table. He's only found the balk line.
So this frame is not going in the customary flow that this match has started in. A bit slower, the balls are a bit more clustered.
Matches that is going with the customary flow though is the one over on the right hand side, where Shane Thompson's about to knock this straightforward black in to notch up England's 9th frame of the match, taking them only 2 away from the magic figure of 11. So looking like a very long way back for Ireland now. Haven't really shown enough. They've shown glimpses of promise, but they haven't shown the kind of consistency that's going to overcome this rampant England team. Just quality from end to end with this England team. I mean, there's 3 people on the bench that would make Chris Day, Aaron Davies and Adam Bassi, which would make any other international team, and they haven't even had a run out yet.
Giuseppe D'Imperio and Alan McBennett are going to come in on that table. And that'll conclude the end of the second round.
Well, that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Lee Kendall.
In off. Lee Kendall, and gives opportunity to Paul Kelly. Now Paul Kelly's on the red balls. You can see that red there, right in the middle of that cluster of 2 yellows and black. Not sure if he's going to try and disturb them now. I don't think so. It's a nice hard pot. So he's run right down for this red on the cushion that he can pot bottom right, and he's managed to break those 2 reds.
Actually, that's just the perfect angle as well. You can put this bottom left and cannon into the cluster.
And yes, and bring out that final red. Oh, that was a lucky escape. That black nearly took the middle pocket, so it didn't disturb the red.
Yeah, didn't get into that quite enough. He needed to hit the yellow, but ended up hitting the black and pushing it out of the way.
So Paul Kelly here, and the red balls for Ireland. Just needs to pot these 2 balls. He's got the black at the end, and pull back a couple of frame. Pull back this frame for Ireland to keep them in the match temporarily at least. So he's potted that ball on the bottom right and bounced off the cushion. So this is Paul Kelly lining up on this black for Ireland, and he makes no mistake, and Ireland take the 4th frame for them, but they trail 4-9 in a best of 21, which is a race to 11. So England certainly in the box seat at the moment, and the incoming players on this left table will be Rob Warne and Sean Sharkey here at these 2018 World Championships men's team semi-final between England and Ireland.
Yes, the format they've used to great effect. Rob Warne has led England out for a number of years Some players prefer to play near the end of an order. Perhaps they prefer the sort of tighter decider type frames. Rob Warne likes to lead from the front. He's been talisman in the early going for England, although frankly the order is so stacked that you could put them in any order and you'd probably get the same result.
So we've got Tony Coe racking up the balls as a referee. Tony Coe, referee on the left table, and John Chapman on the right. Tony Coe looks like he's taking his time with his rack.
He's meanwhile getting a bit tactical on the right hand side. Alan McBennett got this red ball over the right hand corner pocket. Giuseppe's now got a yellow on top of it, so it's bought him a bit of time, but he's still got to figure out what to do with the yellow at some point.
So the referee hands over the white ball. Big break. There's a red ball potted. So this is Robert Warne and Sean Sharkey. Robert Warne of England, Sean Sharkey of Ireland. So, evening viewers, wherever you're watching this live stream, WPF live stream. So pleasure to bring you this match. In commentary it's Mark Shepard and yours truly Joe Fanto.
We've got a big evening of pool coming up, Joe. We've got Wales and Scotland coming up after this, currently scheduled for 6 o'clock. Most of the matches have been running kind of end on end, but it looks like we may actually have a short gap, which is very welcome for the commentators and the production team.
So Rob Warne might help us with that means to an end by makes his clearance. Of course, Sean Sharkey would have something to say to that. We'd like to think he's going to get to the table, but he's got this black that this red that he can negotiate to the bottom left. There's two reds that. Let's say he'll take the red nearest the white first. He's going to take the more difficult one, just nudges in, and leaves himself straight into the middle on the other red.
Yeah, this has not been an easy clearance. He's had to leave this slightly awkward one, and then he's not going to be able to get prime on the black. He's going to have to leave that fairly long to the top left-hand corner.
It's a nice putt on the black into the middle. Sorry, on the red into the middle. Getting ahead of myself here. Is on the black now. I'd say he'll take that to the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, he hopes it'll be a nice putt on the black. It should be. The only difficulty is just a slight hampered cueing. If he can get his hand on the table, this is unmissable for a player of Rob's quality. It's still pretty close to unmissable here, but just slightly awkward. You see him trying to get his hand there just so he can cue over that yellow.
So it's Rob Warne, makes it 10-4. For England against Ireland in this semi-final. So
I think it's going to be a race for England as to who can play the winning frame first. Mike King and Carl O'Donoghue's up next on the left-hand table. Giuseppe Imperio has had a big head start, but he's playing a tactical frame over on the right-hand side, so this could take a little while to sort out. Very good tactical player, Giuseppe. Kind of unusual amongst the younger players. More of them are more attacking break builders. He's a very good break builder, but he also really handles himself well in these kind of tactical frames. He's really made Blackpool his own for the last few years, Giuseppe. He's had a good run of results in this tournament, deep runs in the singles over a number of years, and now taking his place in the full England team. England multiple world champions, so he'll be very happy to join their ranks and get his hands on that trophy, he hopes, tomorrow. Before they can compete for that though, they've got to find one more frame in this match. The equation a bit more stark for Ireland. They've got to win all 7 of the remaining frames if they're to make it through to tomorrow morning's final. That would seem to be a fairly big ask based on the pattern of play so far.
That's Tony Coe, who set up the balls again, delivers the white. And it's going to be Carl O'Donoghue to break for Ireland on the left table. He's taken the white to the left. He's going to hit the head ball from what I can see. Yeah, that's a big break. And there's 2 reds potted. Nearly a third red went into the middle but got prevented by the white. So that's quite a big break. And all balls are off the cushion. I think reds are the preference here. But Carl may think different.
Yes, you would think the red's a bit more straightforward. This looks a pretty presentable opportunity though, whichever colour he takes. This is very much within his range.
It looks like he likes reds. Yeah, I thought he might have tried this. Yeah, it's still on that red if he wants to take it.
Yeah,
it's a nice angle.
I think he'll want to take this red and balk first. He doesn't want to have to come back for it. If he pots this, comes off 2 cushions and comes down the table.
It's a nice poppy. He made no mistake there.
They're just very natural shots those. When you play with a trace of running side around 2 cushions like that, it's very easy to makes the pot a little bit easier, and it makes it very easy to judge the angle. You know the cue ball's always coming back into the middle of the table. So this is absolutely perfect now. You can just drop this ball in the middle and then he'll be naturally running through for the red on the far left hand side of the table.
And there it is. And this is shaping up to be a victory to England. It's a nice screw back off the cushion and he's lining up for the black.
And you'd have to say the current scoreline on Ireland's side is very much largely thanks to Carl O'Donoghue. They've only won 5 frames so far and he's won 3 of them. He's got a 100% record in his 3 matches.
It's taken it to 5. So it's a long way back for Ireland. So here at the 2018 World Championships Meds team event, England leading 10-5 against Ireland. As referee Tony Coe seems to have his work cut out on the left table, that all the frames seem to be played on the left table. It's going to be Dave Fernandez and Gerard O'Gorman to come in. Dave Fernandez of England and Gerard from Ireland.
Looks like matters may be reaching a conclusion, well not quite a conclusion, but maybe advancing at least, let's say on the right hand side. Giuseppe D'Imperio just playing a deliberate foul. He's been shaping up to do that for some time. Finally managed to get the bottom right hand corner pocket open, courtesy of the fact that Alan McBennett has allowed his reds to get knocked safe. So he's now got 2 shots, but rather limited opportunities as to what he can do with them. Dave Fernandez then to break in frame number 17 over on the left hand side of the arena.
Okay, so we've got a substitution. Dave Fernandez is not playing Gerard O'Gorman, playing Gavin Donnelly. So that's Ireland making that substitution. Only the one.
Difficult decision for the team managers. They've both got such good squads, it's hard to know who to put in and who to put out. England could take the view that they're 10-5 up and put a sub in thinking that it's a good chance for them to get a game, but at the same time you've got to take the thing seriously. You've got to put out your best 7 players to make absolutely sure you get through to the final. Not a great deal to choose between them, as I say. The England bench, Chris Day, Aaron Davies and Adam Basu, all of them would walk into most teams, so it's not like you're exactly having inexperienced players coming in.
So that was a miss on this table, on the left table, and looks like it's still an open table.
Over on the right, that's not really gone right for Alan McBennett. He's attempted to cover the bottom right hand corner pocket, but the ball's fallen in. So he's now faced with the unenviable position that he's got 1 red tied up on the right hand side cushion, which he's going to have to play into now, but it's going to be very hard to do it in a way that doesn't open up the yellows for Giuseppe.
So it looked like Dave Fernandez potted a red. That's a nice pot, and come back to the middle of the table by Dave Fernandez.
Looks like it could be a bit of a race between Dave and Giuseppe as to who gets this match won first.
I think Dave Fernandez might be favourite.
Yeah, just needs one good positional shot. In potting this red in the middle, he's going to have to play some kind of cannon. Well, I think he is. There is a gap potentially, but he could maybe get through the gap between the left hand of the 2 reds. Yeah, and he has found that gap.
That's a nice pot. And he's got that red nicely into the middle. And all he has to do is hold his white and we'll have the red back into the top left pocket. And hold, it depends on where he finishes there, whether he can hold the white for the black.
Yeah, a couple of relatively straightforward pots, but just a little bit delicate. He's going to be careful what he does with this.
It's a lovely shot. He's gone a bit close to the red.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any good actually. This is wafer thin if he can pot it. Can he even pot it?
Oh, he can pot it, but it's way thin, as you say.
I think in fairness that ball to the middle like that wasn't that straightforward. The natural angle was coming a bit too close to that red, and I don't think he dared play it with too much side because that made the pot missable. I don't know whether he'll take this on. If he takes the cut on, the white's going to be smashing into the yellow and the black.
The black hasn't gone. Sorry, the red hasn't gone. But he did have position on black if it had.
Yes, he did, but will he get a second chance? Meanwhile, over on the other side, Alan McBennett has just potted the red out of, I think, out of a snooker, but he's unfortunately now snookered on the black, so his woes continue.
So this is the incoming substitute Gavin Donnelly on this left table. Substituted for Geroyd O'Gorman. And
oh, and he's potted it! Alan McBennett has potted the black off 2 cushions out of a snooker. So after that long tactical battle...
So Ireland hang in there.
Giuseppe D'Imperio ground his way out in that frame. He had Alan McBennett in a whole lot of trouble. Potted the red out of a snooker, then potted the black out of a snooker. Well, that's something for the Irish to cheer about. There have been rare moments of levity amongst what's been a tricky afternoon for them, but that was a couple of amazing shots to finish that frame off.
And it still keeps them in the match.
Yeah, we were talking a moment ago like it was a formality that England were going to go through. It still looks to be that way, but they've got to get the job done.
We were trying to work out which frame was going to finish first. So the incoming two players will be Carl Sutton and Paul Kelly. Carl Sutton, of course, England, and Paul Kelly of Ireland.
Yeah, Carl Sutton's looked rock solid so far.
So we've got Gavin Donnelly on this table, on the left table. Got a good chance to go out here on these yellows. It'll be a massive comeback if they can get up. He's certainly taking his time here, Gavin Donnelly.
Yeah, and who can blame him coming in as a substitute? This is his first frame in this match. He obviously wants to make a good impression, and he very much wants his team to do well. So he's just got this one delicate one into the middle pocket. You've just got to hold yourself still, drop this in dead weight. You can't put too much pace on it. You've got to trust that you've struck it straight enough.
And that's amongst knowing that if you miss, your opponent's got a red close to the pocket, which could mean the match. So, needless to say, it's a pressure shot.
Just composing himself.
And he's spotted that.
Now, has he got the angle just to drop this in? I'm not sure he has. I think he may have to play the white either for the black in the middle pocket or play the white up and down. I don't think he's quite got, or indeed screw behind it. There are quite a lot of options, but I don't think he can just roll it in dead weight and hold. He's going to have to play a slightly more positive positional shot. This is almost one of those situations where there's too many options going through your mind as to what you could do.
If he plays with a bit of bottom, just holds the white in the area, I think he should be fine like that. A nice position on black straight in the middle. So that's a nice black into the middle for Gavin Donnelly, defeating Dave Fernandez, and the Irish still keep fighting. 7 frames to 10.
Yeah, this has been a good comeback from Ireland. They've won 4 out of the last 5 frames. They've won a couple from not very promising positions. Dave Fernandez, really, it's just a positional shot overrun by an inch or two was the only thing that stood between Ireland and almost certain defeat there. Just left himself a bit too thin. Still tried to cut it in, but then once he missed, Gavin Donnelly gifted an opportunity that he would never have expected to have.
And we've got Shane Thompson versus Patrick O'Leary coming in on the left table, which is a table where Tony Coe has just racked up the balls. Still racking up.
I was going to say, let's not speak too soon. This has not been a quick process so far. I don't entirely blame him for that. He's taking off the gloves. It's always been this thing that referees wear these white gloves, but they're actually really slippery. It would be much easier to referee without them on, but it's just not really the tradition to do it like that.
So this is England to break. On the left table would be Shane Thompson. It looks like a dry break.
I think a red went down.
Red.
I'll actually be quite relieved about how that went. The white was tracking towards the corner pocket at one stage, and then the ball knocked it out of the way. These balls actually aren't sitting too badly. They're a slightly unusual layout, but he may actually quite fancy these reds. If you could drop the one in the middle, and then he may be able to get close enough to the side cushion to take that one to the corner. That may open everything up.
Yeah, they all appear potable.
Meanwhile, the rock-solid Carl Sutton, who's on 2 from 2 so far and has looked very assured in this semi-final, is at the table on yellows for England on the right-hand side of the arena. And looks to be in a close to winning position now.
That's a bit... don't think he expected that result. Shane Thompson, he's brought those two reds together, which they do, the plant is on. Just nudging that red, that's a good shot. But I'm sure he would have liked an opportunity to go out, but it wasn't to be. So it's Patrick O'Leary at the table here on the left table.
Maybe academic though, because Carl Sutton's on his final yellow over on the right hand side. Just needs to play one good positional shot to get on the black. Just needs to get the white over onto the right hand side cushion.
And that's a lovely bit of spin and kick with that white to bring it around for the black.
Just wanted that to roll a few inches further. He's got a very thin one down the cushion now. He'll get close to the pocket, but it's hard to hit these thin enough when they're like this. They naturally push into the cushion, so got to be very careful to keep it off the jaw until it reaches the pocket. And that's a great shot from Carl. It's stayed up though. Naturally there's a tendency to overcut those. He went the other way, erred on the even thinner side. But what pressure for Paul Kelly. He knows that any miss here could be his last one. He's got two reds in decent positions, but he's got one that just doesn't go at the moment. This is one of these times when the 60-second time limit suddenly seems important. Most of the time you don't get anywhere near it, but Paul Kelly looking at this is going to be thinking, what on earth am I doing with this last red? Does he pot the two open ones and just play for the double? And he's got a decent angle here to get towards this ball. He could be brave and kick it out, or he could take the more conservative option. If he just plays low on this and tries to leave a double on this last red, he's going to have one do or die shot for victory in this frame. And there it is, plays for the double. It's all on this shot. If this red goes in, Ireland are 10-8 and it's anybody's game still. If it misses, certain loss. So hold yourself steady, Paul. And it's in. What a fantastic shot.
What a great shot to keep Ireland in this match.
Paul Kelly, under the utmost of pressure, holds his nerve. Knocks in the simplest of blacks after that great double on the red, and then suddenly it's 10-8.
And morale must be growing with the Irish.
For a moment it looked like England couldn't possibly lose this match, but they've lost 5 from the last 6 now. Suddenly
You're going to have Lee Kendall coming in against Alan McBennett on that right table, where you've got John Chapman setting up the balls. Well, we've still got a battle going on here with Shane Thompson and Patrick O'Leary.
I have to say, when Carl Sutton missed that black, I thought he'd have another go at it. It looked like he'd probably done enough. I thought in or over would probably do it for him, but that's
amazing.
How clinical it is. So, could it be Shane Thompson that gets England over the winning line? I'd certainly think so from this position.
They certainly look like they're puttable, these two reds, and the black, of course, is in the middle of the table. So
the only thing Shane's got to do here is that there are 3 yellows on the left-hand side that he could end up snookered behind. He's just got to draw the white far enough back, but not so far that the black gets in the way. So he needs to come back about 18 inches, 2 feet from where he is. Oh, and he hasn't come far enough.
He's stretched.
You often think to yourself with those shots, you don't want to overscrew them, but he's underdone that by 6 inches.
And it's amazing to see these players at this level just lose that bit of concentration for a fraction of a second. Look at the result.
And that's no more than pressure. Shane Thompson would be bang on that red every day of the week normally.
In the meantime, another frame started there on the right. The drama.
Well, what price now and ending up at 10 all?
And is he going
Oh, and it's crossed it.
Amazing.
And it's a big pocket into the middle pocket this. I think he'll clip this into the middle.
These guys never cease to amaze us.
Wow, Shane Thompson played a poor positional shot, but he's played an exceptional escape from that snooker. And this black now.
And England take the match 11-8 with some dramatic scenes in these last few frames. But England did the running. They did the hard work at the start. They put the frames on the board. Ireland made it exciting, but it's England 11, Ireland 8, and England will be through to the final tomorrow morning. Congratulations, England. And a great effort to Ireland to make the semi-finals once again.
Well, what a match, and jubilant scenes here as the English guys go to shake hands with their Irish teammates, or their Irish adversaries I should say. That looked like they could win quite easily, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7. Once it went to 10-8 it didn't look like it was going to be quite so easy anymore. But Shane Thompson put himself under the utmost of pressure, got himself snookered at a critical moment, but got out of it and got the job done. Thank you for your company. That's the end of this match. We'll be back at around 6 o'clock with the second of the two men's team semi-finals, Wales against Scotland. We hope you can join us then.